Ever wondered why the simplest moves in soccer are often the most effective? The 1-2, or give and go, is one of those classic moments that can cut through defenses like a hot knife through butter. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what makes it so effective, how to coach it to young players, both with drills and coaching points, and just as importantly, how not to overcoach it. Let's start simple. A 1-2, or give and go, or even called pass and move, is when a player passes the ball to a teammate and immediately makes a run to receive it back. It's one of the most basic but deadly tools in soccer. Instead of trying to dribble past a defender directly, you use your teammate to get around the opposition. It's quick, deceptive, and effective at nearly every level of the game. Why does it work? The key is in how defenders react. A defender might expect a dribble, and on a pass it usually follows the ball. When the first pass is played, the defender often shifts their attention toward the receiver and even steps toward the ball. That small moment of movement opens the door for the original passer to run into space and get the ball back. You should introduce this concept within the first year a player starts playing organized soccer. Not as something rigid, but as an idea, something they might notice during small-sided games or rondos. The goal isn't to make them robots who yell 1-2 every time they have the ball. Instead, we want to help them understand space, timing, and deception. The 1-2 isn't the goal itself. Scoring goals is. So if you have a player who can dribble through 5 defenders and score, let them. 1-2 is just another tool in the toolbox of teamwork movements that can make the team win. Start by showing it. Demonstration is essential. Once players have seen how it works, get them into small-sided games like 3v2 where the setup naturally encourages them to try a give and go. If players tend to dribble at 3v2, then the key phrase is you will get it back in a better position. The important aspect is for players to experience the ease of finding solutions with a 1-2 instead of dribbling. You can even structure passing drills with this built in, such as a player trying to get diagonally across a square and using the side player as a passer in the 1-2. Player A passes to player B and runs forward to receive it back. The defender coming from the diagonal should not put high pressure to get the return pass, but can high press the first pass. In another video about passing drills, we scaffolded multiple drills where one of the more advanced drills were about passing and running around static players. While there is no real opposition, it makes the players think about how to go around a player while receiving a pass. Here's a card linking to the full video of these passing drills. There is another drill I like to do, starting by splitting the team into 3 groups. 2 of the groups will be in pairs with 1 ball for each pair. The red players need to keep the ball, the blue players will try to get the ball. However, the third group are the facilitators for 1-2, helping any of the red players that need help. So, if the red player gets too much pressure from their defender, they can use one of the facilitators and play 1-2. You should restrict the facilitators to do 1 touch. These drills coach the movement, but not the context in completeness because there is no direction. 2 of the most typical contexts are playing from the back and the hold-up play. When playing from the back, set your fullback to use the midfielder as a passing option to progress. That will coach both the fullback on the way to give and go, as well as the midfielder on the positioning and timing. The hold-up play is even more fun to coach, because it has so many elements. Start with a winger that has the ball and can pass to the striker. Then the winger needs to evade the defender to receive the 1-2 pass back. There is no restriction of the winger needing to receive the ball wide or cut in, all of that is possible. If the defender drops deep, then the winger can keep dribbling until it finds the right time to use the 1-2. Here are some coaching points that you should sprinkle over many months of refining the 1-2. Firstly, the body position. The player receiving the ball has to have the body position so that it has the vision and passing range of both the position of where the passing player is and where the player wants to receive it. This implies that the pass must be to feet, not in space. Similarly, the initial passer will pass facing their teammate, then we'll need to maintain some eye contact to see when, where, and how the ball will come back. Secondly, communication. We did a deep dive on how players communicate only with their hands, which you can find in the card here. In short, the receiver need to keep pointing to the spot where they want the pass to go to, often straight to their feet with both hands or nearby with only one hand. The initial passer should also point to where they want the ball while running. Either of the players can yell 1-2 before they receive the ball, which unfortunately will reveal their strategy to the opponent. But more on that later. Thirdly, weight of pass. Not all of us have the talent of Perlo or Ozil, but we can learn things. Getting the right weight of the pass is not easy, especially the second pass. The first pass can actually be stronger than usual, but must be accurate, because the second pass should often be a one-touch with some freedom of space. However, ideally both passes will be on the ground and use the grass to slow down the speed. Remember, if the ball is really rolling on the grass, it will slow down more and more over time, the closer it goes to our receiver. If it is just a little bit higher, then it will not benefit from the friction with the grass. Fourthly, hold-up can always be a 1-2 play. Some great strikers or wingers can combine quickly and create a one-touch solution using 1-2. However, if we have a target man up front that can hold the ball up, we can always use them to give some time and still execute a 1-2. For example, a longer pass to the striker can trigger our wingers to bomb forward and also drag defenders to protect against them and the striker. Of course, these third-man runs are great options, and if you are curious about how they can work well, check out our video about third-man runs in the card. However, all these runs open space for the striker to serve the perfect balls back to our initial passer, even if it wasn't a classic 1-2 with a defender in between. The passer can come from the winger who made a decoy run only to come back and receive the ball. Or it can be from the midfielder who managed to break the lines with a longer pass only to get the ball back at a much better position. Finally, you need to know when to use this. Several times we hinted at the need to uncoach the 1-2 movement. Not every 1-2 has to end with a return pass. Sometimes, the decoy is the real value. A player can yell 1-2, and then not return it. If that freezes the defender, it's a win. The defender here drops to cover both players, and that opens the opportunity for the player with the ball to turn and move forward. The important part is for the passer to make that run even if they don't think they will get the ball. Alternatively, if the defender of the initial passer tracks really well, then a 1-2 can include a decoy run forward only to come back to the initial position to receive the ball back. The value in this scenario is that the pressure got removed from the pressing opponent. The lesson here is that you coach the concept, not the pattern. Show them how to manipulate defenders, make them believe the 1-2 is coming, and then do something else. The key is for the player to recognize opportunities, not memorize moves. So how do we avoid overcoaching it? Vary your drills. Sometimes the 1-2 is the best option, sometimes it's not. Encourage creativity. Ask questions like, what would happen if you didn't return the ball, or can you take a touch before you pass back? Emphasize decision-making. Give players choices in drills. Don't tell them when to 1-2, let the game do it. Last advice on the application of the 1-2. The main reason to use 1-2 is to find a better solution for a dribble, which means that your defender is nearby. That means that timing becomes everything. Players need to know when to wait for pressure, actually hold the ball and bait the defender in before executing the pass. Sometimes it will be an opponent trying to press, and other times it will be you driving forward trying to get past your opponent. If you reached this far, thank you for watching. I am sure you learned something, and if you want to learn other tools for breaking lines, make sure you check out that video on the channel. Also, let me know how the 1-2 helped you play and achieve better appreciation of the game. If you are a coach, make sure you coach it. Then uncoach it. Let the players explore, fail, and learn from it. Because in the end, 1-2s don't just lead to goals, they lead to understanding the game.